Hello students, Logan Phillips here, or Professor P, your professor for our course. In this video, we'll be diving into the syllabus, which is the agreement between you, the student, and me, the professor, about how our class is going to be running. This is the rules and expectations, and this is probably the most important video of all the introductory videos you'll be watching in this first week. In fact, this should act as a reference point for you going back forward. Now, let's not waste time. Let's dive right into it. You can find your syllabus on your Blackboard site underneath Syllabus and Pacing. It is link number 2. So go down there, download your syllabus, and follow along, or just follow along with the video. So as we open up our syllabus, the very first thing you're going to be seeing is the word syllabus across the top. Now, many professors reference this as a contract, but that's not quite right, because this contract can be modified by me at whim whenever I need to better the class. So this acts as a guiding light and expectations between you, the student, and me, the professor, how the class will run, the expectations you have, the rules that are going to be in the class, and how I will be managing anything. Now, if I do need to make a modification to the syllabus, I will post publicly an announcement onto your Blackboard page of any changes or modifications I make going through the semester. And now the very first thing you should see at the very top section is the basics. Now, this does not matter if you're taking a computer concepts course as listed here, or if you're taking an Excel course, an Access, PowerPoint, Word, an Office course, whatever other courses I might be offering. Every syllabus follows the exact same pattern. Now, for this syllabus, we can see here the very first top piece is the name of your course. This again might say Excel, Word, PowerPoints of that nature. Next down, we'll tell you where the course is located, if it's in a physical classroom or if it is online. Of course, this one is online. And we'll give you information about what semester we're taking this class in, fall, spring, or summer. Our start date will be following by that, as well as the assignment due date. Now, notice here that we have a start date, an assignment due date, and an end date. In this class, we have a pacing schedule where every assignment is due by the pacing schedule. But as a professor, I allow you to turn in any late work according to the assignment due date. So we have our start date and our assignment due date. The assignment due date is the final Friday of finals week at 5 p.m. The second it becomes 5:01, that class is over. So if you miss an assignment, you're late on something, and you're wanting me to extend a deadline, it's already extended for you, but any late work must be turned in no later than the final Friday of finals week by 5 p.m. Nothing will be accepted in this class at all after that assignment due date of the final Friday of finals week at 5 p.m. Now, the end date is the end date of your class according to your academic calendar. That will be the Sunday following the final Friday of finals week. That gives me the weekend to grade your papers, get your transcript published, and make sure everything's put to your transcripts for the end of the semester. Make sure you understand our class will officially end on the final Friday of finals week at 5 p.m. The second it becomes 5:01, class is over, nothing else is accepted, the SimNet environments will close down, the Blackboard site will lock up. You will not be able to submit any single thing after 5 p.m. on the final Friday of finals week according to your academic calendar. Now, according to your syllabus, your start date and end date are according to your academic calendar. If there is an error on your start date or end date that does not constitute a free-for-all, we will go by the academic calendar. As a professor, sometimes I make mistakes. So if you see an error, please let me know. Now, assignments are due by the pacing schedule. On your Blackboard website, after this video, you'll have a walkthrough of your pacing schedule that shows when assignments are due. So each module is due by a certain due date. On your announcements page, you have a very first sticky announcement is the exact due date of each of those modules. Now, if you miss an assignment or your later assignment, all assignments are due by the pacing schedule, but I will allow you to turn in late work to the learning management system up until the final Friday of finals week at 5 p.m. Anything after that will be considered a zero, so make sure you keep that in your mind. Big piece here, you must complete at least one assignment each week. If you do not complete a single assignment in any week at all, you will be dropped from the class for non-attendance. Consider this just like work. If one day you decided to stop showing up for work for an entire week, you would not have a job at the end of that week. So on every single Friday, so the first week you only get 5 days to do one assignment. On Friday of the first week, if you have not completed a single assignment, you will be dropped from the class. Friday of the second week, if you have not completed assignment from the first Friday to the second Friday, you will be dropped from the class. So within the first week, you have 5 days to complete first assignment, then you have 7 days to make sure you complete another assignment. But throughout the entire term of the semester, you must complete at least a single assignment each week to remain inside the classroom. We will not allow you to stay in the class if you have not logged in, spoken with me, and completed a single assignment. Now, if something has popped up, if you've gone to the hospital, if you got COVID, if something's an issue, communicate that to me beforehand. If you know you're sick, you know you're down, you know you have a family funeral, you know have an emergency, text me, email me, whatever you got to do, and say, hey, this is going on, and I will gladly work with you. But if you don't speak to me at all and you just ghost me for a week, you will be dropped from the class and given an AW on your grade or withdrawn from the class. My contact information is pretty simple. I am Professor Logan J. Phillips. I will say I am not Lance Phillips. I am not Logan Phillips. I am Logan J. Phillips. There are 2 other people around the TCC with similar names, and every semester a student will email Lance Phillips. If you email Lance Phillips, I'm not going to respond. Make sure you're talking to the correct professor, your professor. Look for my big, beautiful, smiling face. I even gave you a picture here of me to remind you. So my office number is A132 at the Northeast Campus inside the Facet Center. We typically aren't there very much anymore because I teach solely online. And with COVID and everything else, you can access me online most of the time. My email is logan.phillips1@tulsacc.edu. My phone number is 918-595-7485. Your first line of communication should always be in writing, should always be my email at logan.phillips1@tulsacc.edu. I'm at the School of Business and Information Technology. You can reach that office at 595-7639, and you can to the school office of Southeast Campus 4211. The next piece of your syllabus, we'll talk about the type of course you are in. If that is concepts, it's a theory application course. If it's Word, Excel, Access, PowerPoint, you are an application course. Your next suggested courses will be listed below that. Now for the textbooks, supplies, and resources, this is a key piece for the students' need. We are an inclusive access classroom, which means that you don't need to purchase anything at all. Your bursar will be charged for your textbook. Automatically, as soon as you enroll, that $100-something bucks is going to hit your bursar and be charged to you. That gives you access to all the course materials on the very first day as soon as you log into the Blackboard course. If you decline that Blackboard or that bursar charge and you do not purchase the inclusive access, there is no way to be able to get onto our systems. You will not be able to complete any work. It sets you up for failure. If you allow the inclusive access to go through, my coursework is extremely cheap, but that is how the charge works. So don't decline, don't deny, don't refute that particular charge, because that's where all of your assignments are. Now for your hardware for this class, this is an online class. We are dealing with computer systems. We are an IT classroom. So of course you need an up-to-date PC. Your PC needs to be functioning. It needs to be working. It needs to be virus-free. It needs to be modern. You need to have Office 2019 or better to be able to run inside this class. You need to be a PC, not a Macintosh. This class is designed for PC takers in particular, because that is the leading business computer system in the market. Now, people have completed the class with a Macintosh computer or an Apple computer, so if you have one of those, you are free to use it. Just understand that it will cause problems. If you're one of my concept students, understand that you cannot use a Macintosh to complete the capstone projects or the access projects. You will have to come into campus and use one of the computer labs there. If you're without a computer, you are free to come into the TCC labs and utilize the computer systems there at the computer labs. For the software, you need Microsoft Office 2019 or newer. If you're on a Macintosh computer, again, reminding you that the Microsoft Access does not exist on a Mac. You cannot use a Macintosh to do the capstone projects or the Microsoft Access projects if you're one of my concept students. If you're one of my Excel, Word students, you are free to go. If you're one of my Access students, you have to have a PC. If you don't have the required hardware, go to one of the computer labs. Email, you are all given a TCC email at tulsacc.edu. It is a FERPA requirement that I only utilize your TCC email. I cannot respond or send out or take a database or collect any of your personal emails. So if you send me an email from bigpimpdaddy@hotmail.com, I'm not going to respond. The only email I can receive and send to is your Tulsa Community College email. So make sure that you are sending and receiving from that particular email. If you're having IT support issues, I cannot help with those. If you're having an IT support issue with a TCC computer, you can call my TCC at call 2000 at 918-595-2000. And if you're having problems with the McGraw-Hill or SimNet environments, you can call them at 1-800-331-5094. I am not liable or able to utilize, touch, or work on either TCC computers or your personal equipment. So if you're having problems with either one of those are going to be your two people that you want to speak with. If you're having issues with academic services, that information is here. You can reach out to my TCC portal. Now for the actual guidelines, expectations of the class. This classroom does have some rules and expectations. We have 8 fairly simple rules. Rule 1 is you must watch the introductory material on SimNet. You have to read your syllabus, the announcements, and your pacing schedule. Rule 2, make sure you have read your syllabus, your text, your learning management system, your announcements before you contact me. So if you're asking me a question of something I've already recorded video, already posted an announcement for, I'm just not going to answer it. You're an adult. You need to be able to go through and read the announcements, look at the introductory material, and understand where the class is at before you take my time away from something else. So make sure you've watched your introductory materials before you ask me a question about the introductory materials. Students are expected to watch the TCC calendar dates. A grade of incomplete or administrative withdrawal is not given. So this is an important one. You are an adult. We have an academic calendar. You can access it at your MyTCC website. You should know your withdrawal dates. I will not give you an administrative withdrawal or an incomplete in this class for any reason outside of those legally required ones. So just because you missed your withdrawal date and you decide you want to drop the class, you're going to get the grade you earn. You are not going to get an administrative withdrawal or an incomplete from me. So make sure that you are watching your academic calendar and understanding the complex issues with your financial aid and your academic calendar. Because as a professor, I do not give incompletes or administrative withdrawals unless you miss that 7-day window. Then I will give you an administrative withdrawal and drop you from the class. Rule 4, if you do not complete an assignment for 7 days, you may be dropped from the class. So remember, on the first week, you have until Friday, 5 days. On Friday, if you have not completed an assignment, you will be removed. After that, you have a 7-day window, and every single Friday going forward from that date forward, if you have not completed a single assignment in that week, you will be dropped from the class. Now, this is to say we are an open classroom. It means all the assignments are there. If you have chosen to work far in advance and you are finishing up the class or whatnot, I'm not going to drop you for being ahead. This is for those students that have decided to procrastinate and do nothing and are falling behind. We cannot have you failing the class and not be able to get back into college, not be able to get your financial aid. So this rule is in place to be able to protect you as the student. But 7 days, if you do not complete your assignment in 7 days, every single Friday I will check, you'll be dropped from the class. Rule 5, any version of academic dishonesty or plagiarism will receive an immediate 0 in the course, and you will be turned into the university. Now, this is an important piece. I am a zero-tolerance professor when it comes to academic dishonesty, academic integrity issues, and plagiarism. If you use your work from a previous semester, that is plagiarism. If you decided to pair up with another student and each do half, that is plagiarism. That's academic dishonesty. If you go online and find the work and copy it to your work and upload it, that's plagiarism. All of these types of things will receive a 0 in the class, but not just a 0 in the class. You will be turned into the university for academic dishonesty, and I will pursue it through the university. If the university decides to go higher with it, you can lose your financial aid for the life of you. That means even outside of TCC, you'll never receive federal financial aid. You can be removed from the college. You can be withdrawn from your programs, but you will guaranteed get a 0 in my class. So under no circumstance, academic dishonesty, plagiarism, or cheating is not allowed. 0 tolerance right up front, Will not allow it. Rule number 6. This is also big ones. Of course, there are only 8 rules, guys. They're pretty simple. Any accommodation request must be turned in before due dates. No accommodations will be given after the due dates. Absolutely no accommodations of any sort will be given after posting of the final grades. If you have turned in a request for an incomplete because you got activated for the soldier, if you have turned in a request for an AW because you got jury duty, if you did not alert me beforehand, I will not make any modifications to the course on the back end. If you say something's horrible happened to me and it's a day after I posted final grades, your final grade will remain in place. The only way to modify it after that point is to go through the grade appeal process. And it says right here in the syllabus, in the announcements, in the student contract, in a very other places, no accommodations will be given after a due date from your pacing schedule, and absolutely 0 accommodations will be given after the final grades are posted. Rule 7, failure to pursue grade complaints requests through the professor will result in an automatic no. Now, this means that if you are having an issue in my class and you decide your first step should be to go to my dean, or your first step should be go to your academic advisor, or your first step is to go outside of my classroom to try to force my hand, I will cease communications with you, because at this point you have involved legal, and it is now a situation where I must protect myself and the sanctity of my classroom. So if you have an issue, your first step should always, under all circumstances, be to speak to me first. If you jump over my chain of command and go higher than me for an issue inside my class, you will get an automatic no from me. No accommodations, no modifications, no help, and no communications. I will cease, and we will work through the process the college has put into place and through that middleman going forward. Now, Rule 8, same thing. If you have decided a threat of legal action, it will end all communications at all. If you threaten me with a lawyer, or you threaten me with legal action, it will now have to go straight through legal channels. I will involve the TCC legal team, and I will suggest that you have your lawyer contact them, because you will no longer have access to me as a professor. Now, guys, these rules seem stringent, as they've all came out of situations that have arisen during the past few semesters. It's a very easygoing class. You're going to get in here, you're going to realize that things are very easy. I've designed it to make you guys perfectly succeed if you do it the way I've laid it out. I want to see you succeed. I want to see everything go smoothly, but we have to have rules for a reason. So real quick, read your materials, go over your materials before you ask me a question, do at least one assignment every 7 days, and talk to me if you're having an issue. That alone will make your class go extremely smoothly. And that's all these rules are stating. And of course, don't cheat. If you cheat, you're gone. Student accountability and professionalism. One of the tenets of the course is personal responsibility. That means you play an active role in your education and as a student in the class. Therefore, it is your responsibility to make sure you know the policies listed on the syllabus and the policies listed in the university related to this course. You need to know your student handbook and the syllabus. You are an adult inside my classroom. You are enrolled in a professional education setting. And something I've been told this last couple semesters is that I pay your salary. I pay tuition. I want you to understand and get that idea out of your head completely. You are not the customer inside of the university. You are the product that we are building for the customer. The customer is society as a whole. You, the student, are not the customer. You have no authority in the classroom. Your only job is to learn and get better so that the society can better off of your work. So you don't pay my salary. I pay taxes myself. You are an adult in a professional setting. You need to act like it. Disrespectful attitudes, hostility, unprofessionalism, or demeaning acts will not be tolerated in any form, way, shape, or anything. If you are disrespectful to me, if you're disrespectful to your fellow colleagues, if you're disrespectful to the university, we're going to have a substantial issue. If you're hostile or threatening, we will involve the legal authorities, we'll involve the police department. We will take care of that and nip it in the bud immediately. Do not be demeaning inside my classroom. I am a highly educated individual with years of experience. I am a professional in my field. Treat me as such, and I will treat you as the professional you are as well. And just to reiterate, You are not the customer. You are the product being formed for society. Society itself is the customer of higher education. So you are paying tuition. Use your money wisely, learn wisely, and come into the class with an open mind and a desire to learn, and you will do fantastic. Negotiations. I don't negotiate. This class works like a bank account. We have 1,000 points in the class, and the point structure is standard. So 600 points to 699.99 is a D. 700 to 799.99 is a C. 800 to 899.99 is a B. 900 and above is an A. If you come in and you have a 699.99 points, when the class ends on that final Friday at 5 p.m., you're going to have a D in my class. I do not negotiate for bonus points. I do not round up. You get exactly what you've earned. So just like a bank account, you might need $100, but if you have $99.99, you have $99.99. The bank was never going to give you a spare penny to get you where you needed to be. So if you want a higher grade, earn a higher grade. Grade disputes claims. If you are disputing one of your grades, that is through the grade appeal process. You can talk to me during the class. If you have an issue with an assignment, I'll gladly give you more tries. I'll gladly give you explanations on how to do it correctly. So we can work through that process. But if you really have a problem with me and you have to prove or go higher, then the communication breaks down at that point, and we have to go through the grade appeal process, and that is a paperwork, and we will gladly do that for you. It's not a problem at all. But if you choose to contact anyone outside my classroom before you speak with me about a grade problem, then my answer is immediately going to be no, as stated in the rules, and we have to go through those paperworks. And again, legal threats, don't threaten me with lawyers. It does nothing. We have academic freedom in the classroom. I understand some of you may or may not like things I say or how we communicate. Lawyers is never going to be the right pathway. You're free to have a lawyer, you're free to use them against me, but once you've made that threat, then all communication does cease, and we have to go through legal channels of that going forward. Concurrent enrollment students. If you are a concurrent enrollment or dual enrollment student, you are a high school student inside of a college classroom. I want you to understand that as your time in my college classroom is, you will be treated as an adult. I will under no circumstance ever speak to an adult about your grades. I will only speak with you. I will never speak to your parents. I will not respond to their emails, their phone calls, their asks for help, their pleas. They are not my student. They have no authority. They have no right to know anything about your classroom or of my time. So if you are a high school student, you are the adult that has chosen to take a college-based course. You will be treated as such. If you treat this class as a high school class, you will fail this class. So make sure you come in here with an adult mentality, understanding that this is adult work and that your progress and your grade is dependent on the amount of work you do. You will not be given a grade just simply because you are an adult. You will not be given special circumstance because you have a sports activity or a field trip or anything else dealing with secondary ed. You are a college student enrolled in a college environment. You must act like it. As stated in the email, you got to use your TCC email. Etiquette, these are just general guidelines. Etiquette 1, please address me as either Professor Phillips or Professor P. I don't like being called Logan. I think it sets a bad tone in the classroom. I am Logan J. Phillips, but in this role, while you are my student, I am Professor P or Professor Phillips. Etiquette 2, emails should be checked for appropriate grammar and spelling. If you're going to send me an email, make sure that it is written well. This is a professional setting. Etiquette 3, treat emails to your professor as you would your boss. Professional and respectful. I cannot tell you how many poorly written, angry, demanding, disrespectful emails I've received in the last few years. It does not ever end well for the person that's sending the disrespectful email. I am your professor. Just treat it as you would I am your boss, because in this classroom setting, that is the equivalent to what I am. So if you show me respect, I will gladly show you. If you show me disrespect, you will get the exact same energy back that you present to me. All right, rules, use your TCC email, include, of course, rules for the email. I should clarify that. Rules for email. You must use your TCC email for communication. It's a FERPA violation. You must include your course name number in the email. So I have 250 plus students on any given semester, and I have students from previous semesters and students for upcoming semesters emailing me. I need to know where you're at so I can look your stuff up. So, hey, Professor Phillips, I'm Bill Joe. I'm in your Computer Concepts class 1203, section 929. I have a problem with X. That is a wonderful way to start an email. Rule 3, be specific in your emails. If you email me and just say, I can't do it, I'm going to email back and say, you can't do what? And we're going to go back and forth until you give me a specific that I can help you with. Again, you're an adult. Break it down to small chunks. I can't do X assignment, X problem. I'm having issue with X idea. Give me information so that I can help you. Again, I want to see you succeed, so give me the ability to help you. Give you a nice little example email here. You can do that. Social media, it is not acceptable to communicate through social media. If you have a question about the class, send it to my email address. Don't ever, slide into my DMs and try to get information from Facebook or Instagram or those types of posts. Just send it to email. It's wonderful. It's a great communication. I can respond to you there. Send me email, not social media. Academic dishonesty, again, as stated, this is a zero tolerance class. Any academic dishonesty will result in an F in the class. For the university, it will result in a 0 for the course, and you'll be written up for academic dishonesty and turned to the university. Special accommodations. If you have jury duty, military service, you must provide paperwork for these types of things. Pregnancy, you need to reach out to Disability Resource Center. If you have an actual disability and you need special accommodations, you must reach out to the Disability Resource Center before I can give you any accommodations. And any accommodations I give you will be from that moment on the pacing schedule going forward. It will not be for assignments that have already come due. So on week 7, if you come in and say, hey, I went to the DRC, I need modifications on my exams, my test, extra time, and all these things now, I'm going to say, great. From week 7 going on, you will get those modifications. You don't get to go back up to week 1 through 6 and do those assignments again. So make sure you get into the DRC very quickly if you need them, especially for those of you that are pregnant. You need to reach out to the DRC first. I cannot do anything until I get the paperwork from them. So make sure you go and utilize them correctly. An incomplete in the class, there are special circumstances where you can get an incomplete, but they come with requirements. To request an incomplete in the course, the student must be in good standing, that is a passing grade, a D or better, and have completed at least 60% of the coursework. An incomplete cannot be requested after the final grade has already been posted. So on finals week on Friday at 5 p.m., you come in on Saturday after seeing that you have failed their class, you cannot request an incomplete so that you can try the assignments again. That's not how this works. An incomplete, you have to be 60% through with a D or better in the class before it's ever requested, and then only under specially protected legal status. After the final grade is posted, no accommodations or special circumstances will be approved after the posting of final grades to the Blackboard site and or the student transcript. Once final grades are posted, students will be required to go through the grade appeal process to request any changes to the coursework, extensions, incomplete, administrative withdrawals, or grade complaints. Once I post that final grade, this class is over. I have nothing left to do. You are done in the class. Any complaint, problem, or issue you have will only be able to be resolved through the grade appeal process. So keep that in mind. The mental health policy of this mental health policy. Now, as your instructor, I value your mental health. You'll see that I post out links and stuff to mental health resources out there. TCC offers wonderful mental health services. You can actually go and get counseling for free from them through a licensed therapist. We have those type of programs in place specifically to protect and help you with your mental health issues. But I want you to understand, mental health does not generally constitute an acceptable excuse on assignments or deadlines. Just because you're having a mental health day or a bad time, that does not equate to any form of protected status, and you will not get any form of extensions or accommodations because of mental health. You are adults. You'll hear this theme over and over again. You don't get to stop working and miss a deadline for work because you're having a bad day. Go and get yourself taken care of. Go to the resources that are there and available to you, and then take care of your business. So make sure you go through here. I want you to pay special attention to the fact of the Clery Act. As a professor, I am legally bound. If you come to me and you report or tell me about in passing anything from burglary, motor vehicle theft, arson, liquor law violation, drug abuse, sexual abuse, robbery, anything at all, I am legally required to alert the authorities. And that doesn't matter if you tell me a story of something you did when you're 9 years old and it's now been 35 years, I have to go legally and tell the authorities. It's ridiculous, but I cannot be a confidant. As a professor, we are not allowed legally to be your confidants in any way, shape, or form. We can't counsel you. We can't show you any accommodations. We are required to report it, both to the Disability Resource Center, to the appropriate authorities, law, legal, whoever that is. And so anything you tell us in confidence will be shared with other people. So keep that in mind. You're free to come and tell me anything you want, but understand that I will have to legally tell other people what you've informed me of. Diversity inclusion statement. If you prefer to be referred by another name, let me know. I don't care. However you want to feel comfortable. I don't care if it's a nickname or you've chosen a new name. I will gladly do my best to call you that. I will communicate to you through automated systems, and so understand please that whatever name that you have turned into TCC is in an automated system, and so my automated system is paired to that, so whatever name is there is how communications will come through email. But if you send an email and say your name is Susie but your real name's Cliff, I don't care. I'll gladly call you Susie. I'll gladly call you Cliff. I'll call you whatever you want. Just let me know how those are, and please understand those automated systems are automated and outside of my control. Attendance and participation. All assignments are due by the pacing schedule, but we do have a late penalty of 0 points. If you miss a pacing schedule due date, you will not be deducted any points, but you must have everything turned in no later than the final Friday of finals week at 5 p.m. So everything's due by the pacing schedule, but if you miss a deadline, you get behind, catch back up. I'm not going to penalize you. I understand adult things happen in the adult world. Get them accomplished, turn them in, but no later than the final Friday at 5 p.m. Any assignments not submitted by them will be counted as a 0. Plagiarism, chronic absences, those are automatic failures. Course withdrawal, make sure you understand your course calendar. Late assignments and makeup work, again, I don't deduct late points, so just go ahead and get it done. Just make sure it's before the final Friday. Teaching methods, learning outcomes, this is all about the course. You can read through that. Grading policy, we are a 1,000-point class. We have a traditional grading point. 899.99 is through 800 is a B, 900 is an A, 7 to 799 is a C, blah, 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 so on and so forth. You will receive the exact points you earned. Nothing will be graded or rounded. Your tentative course calendar is available on your syllabus. As well as your pacing schedule is available on your Blackboard site. It gives you specifics of each assignment, the point value, and the due dates. If you have technical issues, make sure you call 2000 or the McGraw-Hill support. I cannot help you with technical issues. And closing statements in higher education, student, you are not the customer, you're the product that the university is creating. Paying tuition does not entitle you to a passing grade, only an opportunity to learn. You will earn the exact grade that matches the efforts that you place into the course. This course will be rigorous. You will learn a tremendous amount that will benefit you for the remainder of your life. But it's up to you to take it seriously and maximize the value from the content. Guys, I know this is a long 30-minute video. You can hit 2 times speed it up if you like. But I am Logan Phillips. I'm Logan Phillips. I am your professor, Professor P or Professor Phillips. You can call me. If you need me, reach out. My email is logan.phillips1@tulsacc.edu. Guys, it's going to be a fantastic semester. I know this syllabus comes off as pretty aggressive, but trust me, I'm here for you. I want to see you succeed. You will do great in this class. Get through the introductory videos, watch everything, understand the course, and then hit me up with any questions you have, and we'll make sure you get through it and get some new information. Hey guys, I hope you have a very fruitful day. Bye guys.